Hey, you all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north. More specifically, we are in Rivière-des-Loups, Quebec, Canada. And today we're actually headed back into the United States because today is the day that we begin the Route 1 section of the buoy to buoy road trip. We've been, I don't even know how long. It's been a week, 2 weeks maybe, that we have been on this road trip. And interesting thing is this is almost a halfway point from the northernmost point in Minnesota to the beginning of Route 1 is, I think it's a lot of miles. I think it's about a day and 7 hours. And then it's almost that long from the top of US 1 to Key West. It is about a day and 5 hours. So this is pretty much the halfway point of our journey, of our buoy to buoy road trip. We are halfway there. Today we begin the section following Route 1. I really wanted to check out Route 1, the route that basically heads down the east coast of the United States from Maine to Florida. It's been a long time that I've wanted to try that trip, and I also wanted to do the buoy to buoy, so I kind of combined them into one. So I'm very excited to begin that second half of the trip today. So we're going to be crossing back into the United States here in just a little bit, but first I wanted to come out to the park and say hello to P-Loop. Yes, P-Loop, the seal here in this park. He was the mascot of the first provincial games in Montreal. It debuted in 1971. You can see P-Loop here. He has a little gold medal there around his neck, and he kind of looks like some sort of Pokemon. And it looks like there's some more art over here at this end of the park. It does appear that the people of Quebec, very artistic people. See a looks like a movie camera here. And what is this made out of? Oh, that's metal movie camera. Pointed over here at the staircase that leads to a frame. So the movie camera here, and kind of a black and white look to it, like a hand-drawn look. Pointing over here, leading to the staircase, and focusing in on this rock on a stick. There's some information about the artist and the sculpture here. Pierre LeBlanc says he was born in 1949 and had to move because they destroyed his childhood home to make room for new highways to Montreal, and says that he has created work that focuses on memory gaps of history that swallow up the places inhabited by ordinary people. Speaks to the oblivion and destruction that threatens the living environment and the fate reserved for city neighborhoods depending on the status of the inhabitants. Yeah, Rivière-des-Loups. Adorable little French-Canadian town here. But it does have a saucy side. Over here, right on the main street, they have erotica, amour, and seduction. Just got to get to the other side of that river. Look across the river. That's the US of A. Turning left towards Fort Kent, Maine. Yay! I guess this is the border crossing. Oh, it looks like you can, this is like there's a footpath on this one. You can actually pass this bridge on foot. But we're passing it by car. Oh, and right there. Just past the line. We are now in the United States of America. I'm going to stop up here at U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. And we have landed back in the United States of America. My feet are on my home soil. Just crossed through that border checkpoint right there, and the Border Patrol agent was super nice. He was giving us, I explained what we were doing, and he was giving advice that he's done traveling too. He's said he's been to the northernmost point and the southernmost point. He said that the drive through Maine is very long and very arduous, but it is also very beautiful. And here, right past the border, right past the border checkpoint, we have the beginning of U.S. Route 1 here in Fort Kent, Maine. This shows our map. This shows our journey. This shows our Route 1 journey right here, starting in Fort Kent, Maine, where we are currently. Now, here in Maine, the US 1 is very windy. Winds all across the Canadian border here, across coastal Maine, and then down to Portland. You can see I think that's Massachusetts here. As you go through the eastern states down, you go a little inland here through the Carolinas, and then back down the Florida coast to Key West. This is what my next couple weeks is going to look like. And it is 2,446 original miles. I think that might actually be longer than Route 66. It says here, U.S. Route 1 is the easternmost route of the Maine North-South United States highway system. So, yeah, it's the furthest east. I also think it goes further north than any other highway. The historic marker here says denotes the first mile of U.S. Route 1. So this is the beginning. This is the beginning. The very first mile, the final mile in Key West, Florida. And this is super nice. Someone here left a tripod or clip there where you can clip that and get selfies with the mile sign. You can walk up this staircase here. I think this gives you a peek at the river. This is the St. Johns River here, flowing across the border, creating a natural boundary between our two countries. On the other side, you can see Canada, the very cusp of our two nations. So I did just look it up on my phone to double check my work, and I was wrong. Route 1 not as long, not quite as long as Route 66, but very, very close. Route 66 is 2,448 miles. So this is only 2 miles shorter than Route 66. Very interesting. You know, they start in completely different places, ending completely different places. That there only is a 2-mile difference in their length. And we are officially sailing along Route 1, looking straight down that road. I can just almost see Key West, Florida. So apparently Fort Kent, an actual fort, believe it or not. A fort in the Aroostook War. This was apparently a war between Maine and New Brunswick that they were fighting over land. I guess the border had not been properly established. They said that Canadian lumberjacks were coming into the country to cut lumber, and the U.S. or Maine did not want them. They felt the border should be higher. So apparently, America claimed a border much higher than it was. And I guess this would have been Canada would have been a British territory at the time. So they said the border was way down here. America said the border was way up here. I guess it ended up being established right in the middle. But yeah, this fort here used to try to establish that border in the Aroostook War. This is the fort here built by an American posse trying to establish the border here in Fort Kent. It says it was a bloodless war, so there wasn't like a bunch of murder or killing or anything. It was just a squabble over the border. Yeah, you can see kind of overlooking the Johns River there, keeping New Brunswick at bay. Stopping here along Route 1 in Madawaska, Maine, here at the Four Corners Park. So this is pretty interesting here. This park is one of, I guess, what is known as the Four Corners of the USA. We're all about the contiguous geographical points here on this road trip. So let's take a look at what the Four Corners are. This is the Four Corners we're at right here in Madawaska, Maine. I don't know who that little guy is. And Key West is the other Four Corners. So we'll hit at least two of the Four Corners. The other corners are San Ysidro, California, and Blaine, Washington. Interesting. So you may be asking, what is the significance of the Four Corners here? And how were they chosen? Well, this all comes back to a 1983 motorcycle tour. The Southern California Motorcycle Association put on a tour, and they wanted motorcyclists to go to all four corners of the U.S. So they traveled to the 4 checkpoints, which we already discussed, in North Washington, Southern California, Key West, and then right here in Maine. They had 21 days to reach all 4 checkpoints. They had to submit a postmarked envelope and mail it from there to verify that they had been there. So that is pretty interesting. Hey, Jen.
Yes.
Do you think I could do it? I don't want to ride a motorcycle, but I could do it.
I really want to ride a motorcycle. Like,
you want to ride a motorcycle?
I know you told me I shouldn't because I'm a big klutz.
I'm afraid of motorcycles.
Yes, I think any road trip, you've succeeded. So once you get something in your little mind there, you're going to do it.
21 days to
3
reach.
weeks.
3 weeks. That's going to be shorter than this road trip.
I was going to say, we've already been doing this for 2 weeks, starting when we were in Chicago at your mom's.
Yeah. So
it would be double this.
Double this? Okay.
Or no, 1 more week.
1 more week?
3 weeks.
So it'll be kind of close. It'd be difficult. There wouldn't be a lot of time for stopping, but I was wondering, I'll just throw this out there into the atmosphere. What do you guys think? Should I do the Four Corners road trip where I come here, go down to Key West, go to Southern California, and then up?
Now I'm really thinking about it.
Up to Washington.
Because
might be
you
fun.
Were already thinking like, oh, will I make it to Key West on time? And how much more time?
I think I'm aiming for about 2 weeks to Key West. So, man, yeah.
Okay, so do these cyclists, bikers?
Maybe the bikers, maybe they drive really fast on motorcycles.
Say, do they stop?
Maybe they
see any attractions?
No, maybe they're just like, and then they like cut in between cars, so they don't have to worry about traffic.
Can we get a sidecar for me? Or maybe you can be in the sidecar and I can do the motorcycle.
So we have to get a motorcycle with a sidecar.
Yes.
Would you guys like to watch this? Leave a comment in the comment section.
I want to learn how to ride a motorcycle.
Well, I guess then I'd be in the sidecar.
Yes.
It does clarify here, Madawaska, Maine says that this is the most northeastern town in the United States, one of the Four Corners. So I guess we can mark that on our list of contiguous points here. We've been to the northernmost point. We've been to the northeasternmost point. Hopefully going to be in the southernmost point of the contiguous. And maybe we'll even work the easternmost point in at some point. There's like a walk of bikers here. The Buck. Different motorcycle enthusiasts who have put their names here into this walkway of the park. And this is what I'm always saying. The journey is the destination. Here's where we have lost bikers. Dedications. Jen, look at that moose.
Oh, yes, that's Mr. Knucklehead.
Mr. Knucklehead?
Yeah, that's Mr. Knucklehead.
honestly, we've seen a lot of fake moose
This is great.
on our trip. I think this is the biggest fake moose that we've seen.
This may be the scale.
This is to scale?
I don't know.
Well, here, get in there. Get in there, hug the moose, kiss the moose.
Just don't touch.
Don't touch?
No.
Just give it a... Yeah, there you go. Well, here's a different version of the challenge. It's called the Titanium Butt Challenge. And you do the 4 corners 5 times.
What?
You have to do it 5 times. You have to go to all 4 corners. The only catch is with this, there's no time limit. So you can do this over the course of your life. And then you can become a certified titanium butt.
Why is it butt?
Because your butt is on the motorcycle. So it hurts your butt to be...
okay. That's the only thing with motorcycles, especially if I wanted a Harley, you have to keep your arms up like this for the entire country. How do they do that? They have to have like core strength. Like. So
are you gonna like hang out in biker bars and stuff when you get your bike?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a bandana, and patches. I'm gonna be tough. I am not.
You're so fun.
I know.
I don't know. I think I deserve some sort of titanium butt award for all the sitting I've done in my car.
You said that since you've lost weight, your butt hurts more now.
Yeah, I lost a little bit of weight, and my butt started hurting more because I didn't have as much butt.
Yeah, maybe you need like to have a big butt. Like I have a big butt, so I'll do good.
After this trip, I don't know. I'm kind of working on putting it back on.
Oh, so you can have.
Yeah. That's why I've been eating all this garbage on this trip.
All your ketchup chips.
So you register over here for the experience. Look at this. Got this motorcycle coming out. This 3D motorcycle coming out of the mural there. They're leaving the park right now. Ready to head on to the next corner. Wait a minute. Jen,
Oh,
you want to ride a You want to ride a motorcycle?
I do. Which one am I?
You can either be the...
I don't want to be on the back.
I don't want to be on the back. You want to be the tough biker on the front?
Yeah. Oh no, I can't reach. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Hi.
Okay, be a tough biker. Say tough biker words.
I'm tough biker.
Glad you put so much...
I'm just gonna be a peppy biker. I'm
A peppy bike?
bike with glitter and...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fun too.
Yeah.
Things to do today. You can either mow the grass, clean the garage, clean the yard, wash the car. So you got to spin the wheel here. Well, the wheel is kind of weighted down. This is a wrench, so it automatically goes to go ride your bike. This is all biker parking.
Look how cute little they are.
All these little teeny tiny parking spots are for bike parking only. All right, ride safe. Looks like you head down that way to get back to Canada. And as I've been driving this whole time, you can see Canada right there across the river. We are just going right along the Canadian border on this part of US 1. And greeting people into Maine, we have another moose. But this one's actually pretty interesting. You can see moose there has little birds there on each one of his antlers. And riding on the back of the moose is another Maine animal, the Maine coon, the giant cat that comes from Maine, but actually looks kind of small there on the back of the moose. And down here at the bottom, you got a fish from the streams of Maine leaping out, and a can, believe it or not, a can of Moxie, my least favorite soda, that apparently is the official soda of Maine.
You had me try that, and it wasn't great.
What are these? I don't know if these are like nuts or burgers or... And then like a pie there. But that's pretty impressive. All the fake moose we've seen, I think this might be my favorite. I love the Maine coon on his back.
I want a tattoo.
You want a tattoo of this?
Really cool, yeah.
Here, we'll go get in there. Pose with the moose.
Okay.
You know the drill.
Jen pose.
Is that Maine coon life size? It looks a little small for a Maine coon.
I think the moose is just giant.
It's just the moose is making it look
to
small?
Scale. I really want a Maine coon. I want everything here. I want a moose and a Maine Coon.
We actually have to turn here to stay on Route 1. If we go forward, it's Route 1A. We want the original 1. Got this giant milk carton here in front of the Arrowstuck Dairy Bar. And let's check and see. Okay, I wanted to check and see, make sure there wasn't any missing children here on the back. And man, this parking lot is so busy. I would grab some ice cream, but there is an absolute mob scene out right now trying to get ice cream. The line for the ice cream was super long, but me and Jen decided to go get some actual food. We're gonna check out the Maple Pig over here. So I told Jen I wanted to get some authentic Maine lunch.
Yes.
And she said, I don't think we're in Lobster, Maine.
No.
So I said, well, what do people eat in northern Maine? And she said maple and blueberries.
Yes.
So I'm like, well, how do you eat maple? Like, do you just get pancakes? So I went here to the Maple Pig, and they do have some maple items that I think we're going to try. We have the Maple Pigs in a Blanket here.
Yeah, it's drizzled with maple syrup.
And the drizzled maple syrup? And the mustard has maple in it?
Yes.
Okay, so there was an entire table of clowns eating lunch. I didn't want to bother them, but
I was honestly going to go say hi, but they're leaving now.
pretty amazing. Oh, on the other side of the menu, they do have the pig butt. Jen wanted me to show you.
Yeah,
I don't know why it was necessary to like put the anus on there.
I think it's cute.
And our pigs in the blanket have arrived. They got a lot of maple on it. Look at all that maple there in the bottom. Have you had yours yet?
No.
You haven't had a chance to try it?
To cool off a little.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's try some of these. My mom would make pigs in the blanket at home with like little smokies and like the biscuit out of a tin. Let's see, let's get some maple syrup.
These are seriously amazing.
Very syrupy. Oh wow.
Yeah, aren't they good?
Really smoky little hot dog. Like a flaky covering there. And somehow the maple syrup works there. I was a little nervous about that. It's sweet, but like the smokiness of the hot dog kind of brings it all together. That's so good.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
And our entrees have arrived. I got the Aroostook County tenderloin, which is actually smoked bologna with cheese. Interested in trying that. And what did you get, Jen?
I got the pulled pork quesadilla. It has Smoky Mountain barbecue sauce, and I was like, ooh,
Smoky Mountain barbecue sauce?
Yes.
I need to try that. Have you tried it yet? What does it taste like, the Smoky Mountain barbecue sauce?
This is salsa.
Oh, it's on there? Mm-hmm. Does it taste like home?
It's good. I don't think it's Smoky Mountain barbecue sauce.
I don't know if I've ever had a bologna sandwich like that. Look how thick that bologna is. Yeah, there's like some really sweet sauce on there. That's very yummy. Cheese is good. Oh, wow. And here, off of US Route 1, we have a shoe tree. There's quite a few shoes on this tree here. Not a lot at the top, mind you, but a lot of low-hanging fruit. Yeah, as I travel across the country, I do look for shoe trees. You know, the places where adventures go to rest. All these shoes belonged to someone at some time who wore them through important events in their lives, important adventures. And once they no longer became useful, they did not throw them in the trash. They took them here to a shoe tree to be immortalized forever. It's kind of where old souls go to rest. And I like to think of it that way, that each one of these shoes is a different adventure that someone had that ended right here at this shoe tree here in Maine. And I've left quite a few of my shoes, quite a few of my Crocs on shoe trees. Always kind of keep my old Crocs with me, at least one old pair or an old pair of shoes in case I do come across a shoe tree, so I can give it a proper burial on the long lonesome road. I think this is a good spot here. Sometimes the trees are pretty high. You have to throw them up here. I think I can just kind of flop it over. There we go. And there they are, hanging amongst these other shoes, these other adventures left behind on the tree. It's interesting. You know, you have to think, where does a shoe tree start? Someone throws a pair of shoes on a tree. Maybe another person sees it and says, yeah, me too. I want my shoes on a tree. But then it spirals. I don't know. It'd be interesting being able to do a study on the genesis of shoe trees, the psychology which leads to them being created. But for now, I'm just happy to leave this particular adventure on the shoe tree to enjoy its much-earned retirement. Stopped off at this pull-off here, where there is a very scenic view. You can see the lake down there. It says that this is East Grand Lake here. Yes, we are here looking out that way. And apparently this section of Route 1, actually known as the $1 Million View Scenic Byway. Passing signs that say, welcome to Maine, because there's so many border crossings. Just right across that river is Canada. All this time we've been driving for hours and hours, and pretty much been hugging the Canadian border the entire time. Stopped off at this rest area to get a view of that sunset. This is called the Narrows here, this river. Of course, right across there, that's Canada. That's the United States. Let's see, the same sunset falling on both countries. Stopped off down here, the St. Croix Island historical site. I guess that is St. Croix Island right there. It is part of the United States. Anything you see beyond that is part of Canada. Guess we will walk down near the water here, at least as near as we can get. You can see the high tide mark there. Yeah, they actually do. This part of the country, as well as this area in Canada, actually has some of the highest tides in the world. So you can see, you saw where the high tide line up there, so the water can come all the way up there. But look at down here. Look how far down it is. Over here you can see it goes all the way down there into that pit. So at some point today, the water was all the way up here. All the way up here. And now it has gone out down that far. Yeah, you could tell when we stopped at the other place, the water was also very low. So the tide is out here. That's wild. The water here is so tranquil. Yeah, look over here. Look how far down the tide is right here. It is absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. And down here under the pavilion, you can see what the St. Croix Island would have looked like, showing the early settlement out there. Yes, that's St. Croix Island right there. I thought there were some other people out here looking out into the water, but there's actually some statues out here in the woods looking out into the muck, the pit of muck there caused by the low tide. If you came out here in the dark, these statues would scare the crap out of you. Yeah, I was just looking at the high tide and low tide, and actually low tide was just about 8 minutes ago. So this is pretty much as far down as it goes. That is 0.29 feet. And during high tide today, it was 20.59 feet. So that the difference between 20 feet of water between high tide and low tide. So yeah, one more look here. That is the low tide right there. The high tide today, 20 feet taller than that. And we have made it back to the 45th parallel, halfway from the equator to the North Pole. So we're in between the North Pole and the equator. We actually passed this on the way headed. How did that happen? We were traveling south near Saginaw, Michigan. We passed this. I guess we went in Toronto, headed north. Apparently crossed it somewhere over there. There was no marker though. And then we passed back down to the 45th parallel here. This monument though, this is the very first 45th parallel marker. Stone was put here in 1896. So the first highway notation of the 45th parallel. We are headed towards the equator, but not to the equator. We are headed to Key West, which is a little bit north of the equator.
Is he okay?
Yeah, we have a wildlife sighting. Got a little raccoon up here.
Hello, raccoon.
Are you okay, buddy? Oh no, has he been hit by a car?
Is he okay? You know, he's waddling. I think he's okay. I think he's just chubby.
He's just chubby?
Yeah, it's okay. There you go, Waddles. Oh my God, he's so cute. I want to keep him and give him hugs. I love you too, just like the elk.
So we have arrived here for our accommodations for the evening. I found this this house here just for rent for $100 a night. So I scooped it up. It was right, just a little bit off of US Route 1. And it is overlooking the bay here. I guess we'll have to maybe get a better look in the morning. I saw there's a lighthouse over there on the Canadian side. Yeah, across the bay is Canada. So yeah, this may have been a good find here. So let's go see what it looks like inside. Okay, come down here back of the house. Yes, it looks, we're looking out into the water. I can't wait to see the view in the morning. Gonna have to kind of wait till the sun comes up to get the full effect of that view. But here is our room for the night. Little apartment here back behind at the bottom of the house. We've got the king bed, little couch over there. Yeah, it's a small little hotel room with everything we need. But yeah, getting something on the water for $100 a night on short notice definitely works for me. Okay, so every hotel has its advantages and disadvantages. This hotel, very reasonably priced, especially for being out here on the water, the moon reflecting off the water there, the beautiful country of Canada across the bay. Again, we'll need to wait till morning to see truly how beautiful this view is. The downside was we got into the room, I used the restroom, and the toilet did not flush. And it was kind of one of those situations where you really wanted it to flush. And I texted the number for the management of the hotel who had checked us in virtually or through text message. Unfortunately, I hadn't heard back from them. I ran to the Dollar General. I got a plunger. I plunged, and it just wouldn't. Jen plunged a little bit. We all tried. No success. Finally, they got back to us, and they said they were sorry, and they gave us the code to get into a different room. So we turned the situation around. We went from fearing we would sleep in a room full of sewage to getting an upgrade. So yeah, the view of the moonlight over the bay and a much larger room. Got some chairs. Got the bed there. Pictures of fireworks over the bed. Yeah, this is spacious. Like basically a double-sized room, double the size of the last room. I think Jen's in there enjoying the new working bathroom.
The bathroom's bigger too.
The bathroom's bigger too? Have you tried the toilet yet?
No, I'm scared, honestly. Oh, it's one.
Oh, come on. Fingers crossed. There we go.
Oh,
It's a miracle.
perfection.
So another day out on that long, lonesome road, on the Bowie to Bowie road trip today, the first day of the U.S. Highway 1
Yay.
section of the Bowie to Bowie road trip. Actually, the halfway point, like I said earlier, this is pretty much the distance between the northernmost point and here is pretty much the same as the distance between the start of US 1 and Key West down in Florida.
That's still crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you like the new room?
It's very nice.
Very nice. Did you see? We can't really see the view per se, but it seems awesome.
You can see a lot of stars.
You can see stars. You can see there's water. That's Canada on the other side. It looks beautiful out there. I'm really actually excited to get up in the morning and see the view from the hotel room here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna continue on. Today was just kind of a lot of driving. Today it was just a lot of small towns, some patches of absolutely nothing, just winding along, kind of right alongside the Canadian border. And now we've reached actually I think today we've actually officially reached the end of the Canadian border.
Yes.
Because we're actually right by, you can see across there, that's the Canadian border. That's pretty much the final cutoff for the Canadian border. Now we're going to head down along the ocean for the rest of US 1 here in Maine.
Seafood.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some good seafood tomorrow. That's what we were both hoping. I love New England seafood.
Yeah, I think it's
love
my
the
favorite
food,
in like the whole
the
country.
food in Maine. So we're gonna see what we can find. May stop a couple times. I don't know.
Yeah.
See how many lobsters we can devour as we head through Maine.
I was excited. We saw a lot of mooses today. I
Fake
mean, not
mooses.
actual mooses. Yeah, statues of mooses.
You're not sick of moose yet?
What? How dare you?
This feels like just been with the onslaught. Everywhere we go, there's a statue of a moose. There was even a statue of a moose. You didn't get to see it, but there was a statue of a moose inside the CN Tower. He's made of driftwood.
What?
We
missed
saw
a moose?
We saw We saw 2 living, breathing moose at Omega Park.
We saw a raccoon.
Yeah, we saw a raccoon.
I was excited. I don't know.
But yeah, we're gonna get some rest. We got in. I was really excited. We got in early, and then we had the whole fiasco with the toilet, and that kind of ate into our time a little bit. But just gonna keep trucking on. Headed back on Route 1, and I'm planning on running it until we reach Key West or the wheels fall off, whichever comes first.
Couldn't you just buy a new car and keep going?
Maybe, yeah, I'll do that.
What are you doing? Yeah,
I'll trade my broken down car for a bicycle. And
see, there you go.
And ride it down to Key West if I have to.
Yeah, see, you'll make it.
But thank you guys for watching. If you like these videos, I appreciate it. If you watch these videos every day, that means a lot to me. If you watch these videos every once, that still means a lot to me. Not as much as if you did it every day, but still quite a bit. And if you like the videos, consider subscribing. I travel around the country. I film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and other fun, random stuff. If you'd like to help out in other ways, consider Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month from me to you.
Them.
Still doing Cameo. If you'd like to receive a message from me or send a message to a friend or family member, you can do that. The information down below. If you'd like a souvenir, you'll have to wait because it's closed down right now. That shop will open back up when Jen gets home. And all those things help keep this car on US 1, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's
in the flushing toilet.
in the bag.